Alright guys, I have a battle here against GE2007. I battled him once in the past, and he seems to be a guy that likes to use lower tiered mons in OU to try to catch people off guard. He did request an OU match, and then he came at me with that. So it should be a pretty interesting match to see what he's going to do. I mean, the last battle we had, he wasn't quite so bad with the amount of under-tiered mons he brought, but you know, you can always request a lower-tiered match, but no, this is how he gets his jimmies, by, trying to use lower-tiered mons in OU, and really surprise people. Have to be some pretty creative sets, though. This one is not so surprising, though. It is an Ariados, and it's going to go ahead and try to go for the sticky web. That's kind of why the only reason, really, it's relevant is its ability to set up that entry hazard, which only a few Pokemon can do. So, I'm just going to go into Donphan. I really don't want to let him keep that sticky web up, and I do have Rapid Spin, so that's what I'm going to do after setting up Stealth Rocks and then Volt Switching, and yeah. He's going to go for a Toxic Spikes, which is another thing I really don't want to give him, and first thing I'm going to do is actually knock off. He does have Cofagrigus, so I was thinking that he might try to go into that to block the Rapid Spin, but instead he just stays in, so I'm like, okay, let me try the Rapid Spin now, and he ends up staying in, and I get rid of all his hazards, which is really, really nice. And I'm just going to go for it again. If he wants to try to set up that sticky web, I'm not going to let him do it. I will kill him with the Rapid Spin if I have to, and there you go. It will die, and I get rid of his sticky web, and yeah, that Ariados pretty much died for nothing, so 1 down, 5 to go. So he's going to go on to Melodic, which is probably, looking at his team, his best mon stat-wise, so obviously I do not want to leave it in against a water type, so I'm going to go ahead and switch out into Tapu Koko. It was going to also set up the Electric Surge, as he just goes for a Scald, which will break my balloon, but does he get the burn? I don't remember. Oh, he does get the burn. And he gets the burn, but it actually does a lot of damage to Tapu Koko as well. Tapu Koko is not very bulky, so it can't really switch in well against a lot of things. Against most things, to be honest. But, yeah, off goes Melodic as he goes into his Cofagrigus now. Cofagrigus, if I recall correctly, is more of a physical tank, but worked out for him because I was just going for the U-turn, kind of expecting him to switch. And, yeah, he's going to give me his Mummy, which is kind of pointless. I like the name, by the way, for the Cofagrigus, though. Hug me. And he also, actually blocks my U-turn with, eject button, which apparently, if you get an eject button, I don't get my switch. So he gets his switch. He basically steals my switch with that eject button. But fortunately for him, it was into Chatot, which obviously he does not want to stay in against a Tapu Koko. So in comes King Kong now. His, his Slacking, which would be Uber if it didn't have the Churon ability. Unfortunately for him, that's not going to be able to take 2 Thunderbolts in the electric terrain from Tapu Koko, so I will be able to take out the Slacking before it gets to do anything to me. And Tapu Koko is just kind of destroying right now as he goes out into Acid Spray his Durant. And I'm really not sure how well a Durant's going to take a Thunderbolt either, so that's what I decided to do. And it ends up killing it. 1-hit KO, so Tapu Koko just going insane mode against this guy's team at the moment. Unfortunately, my electricity now disappears, which will weaken my moves, and I'm still burned, so I only have a couple more turns left. He's going to go into Cofagrigus, though, and this thing can definitely take a hit, especially not in the electric terrain, so I'm just going to go for that, and takes it pretty nicely and sets up a Trick Room, so he's hoping to hopefully get a comeback here with Trick Room strats. That will allow him to outspeed Tapu Koko and finish me off with a Shadow Ball, but he has quite a bit of ground to make up for, so down goes Tapu Koko. And I believe I decide to go out into my Charizard, and I decide just to go for the Flare Blitz. I'm pretty confident that with the amazing attack power of Charizard X, I should be able to just take this thing out with a Flare Blitz. He ends up predicting this pretty nicely, though, and gets a Destiny Bond off. So he's going to get 2 quick KOs here against my Koko and my Mega Charizard X, so it only cost him a Cofagrigus. So the Cofagrigus doing some work. And also gets rid of my Tough Claws, not that it really matters. And yeah, down goes Cofagrigus, and down goes Charizard from full HP, no less. And, yeah, that sucks. So he's gonna go back into his Chatot, which no one really was expecting much out of. I go into Salamence. I'm actually thinking that I should outspeed, but that Trick Room is still set up, and I did not recall that. All that stuff had just happened, so I wasn't really thinking. And apparently this thing has Hidden Power Ice. So, yeah, that's just going to completely murder face my Salamence, and, yeah, he's, making this a game towards the end. So in comes Cobalion, or Cobalion, or however it's pronounced, and he's going to go out into his Melodic. I decided just to go for the Close Combat, which is my strongest move. Obviously, this Melodic is... Actually, I'm not really sure what the EV set is, but it takes that Close Combat really, really well, so I'm just going to go ahead and Volt Switch out as he just goes for the Recover. And in the back of my mind, I was thinking, well, what if this Melodic is a Mirror Coat Melodic? But I'm like, nah, that looked like it was definitely a physically defensive set. Maybe I need to check the spread of my Cobalion, because that Close Combat really didn't do a whole lot. So I'm going to go out in my Superior here, thinking that this thing should be able to just kill it with Leaf Storm, but it does not. It lives a Leaf Storm from my Superior, and does indeed have the Mirror Coat, so he got me again with another, you know, I mean, I knew that Mirror Sets, Mirror Coat Melodics were a thing, but I just didn't think that he was especially bulky like they pretty much have to be. But yeah, it surprised me. Unfortunately, though, this thing is at red HP. I'm confident that I can come in and kill it with a Volt Switch, and his last Pokemon is Chatot, so I'm pretty sure I can now get the win here with Donphan. He's going to be taking 25% damage on Switch-In due to my Stealth Rocks, and I do have Ice Shard, so that should end it. Either way, really surprising game there, GE2007. I like your style, buddy. And today's question of the day is, what Pokemon do you think is the most underrated Pokemon in the game? So, Pokemon that no one gives any credit for, but you're convinced can do some real work, even against the highest competition. So leave a comment about that. As for me, oh, dang it, put on the spot like this by myself. It's so awkward. I'm going to say Como-O or Vaporeon. Both are RU this generation, which has failed. So same with the Goodra, but I think they can still be used really effectively in the higher tiers. It's just crazy how some of the mighty Pokemon have fallen. But leave a comment about that and see you guys next time. Bye.